Right, so things have changed overnight quite a bit. First of all, Freddie has moved north, which changes things a lot, and we'll look at that in a moment. Second, the Vaal River flows, especially above Bloemhof, have increased a lot. So let's first look at Freddie and the forecast, and then the river. Looking at the predicted forecast for Cyclone Freddy, the path has moved north through Mozambique into Zimbabwe. This is a 5-day forecast. If we look at the 10-day forecast, we can see there is still a heavy forecast over the area above, around Punda Maria. Looking at Graskop, which yesterday had about a 800-900 millimeter forecast on YR, it's now down to 60 millimeter, 128 and 50, and this will probably reduce even more, because once it starts moving north, I think it'll keep on going north, but we'll have to see about that. Punda Maria is now getting a lot more water, 326 millimeter. But as it moves north, we can expect the low-veld area to get less rain, and Zimbabwe is going to bear the brunt of it, which will probably mean it will move through the north of Botswana as well, and into southern Angola, northern Namibia. That's a bit of a relief for the low-veld, but they probably will still get some rain. Same for the coast of Natal, KwaZulu-Natal. Looking at the dams on the Vaal side hasn't changed much, but there is a slight increase to the southern side of the Vaal catchment area and a decrease to the northern side. Let's just look at that. So the outflow from Grootdraai Dam is at 1,400 cubic, but the Vaal at Gladderdrift is still 2,000 cubic, and then Waterval's adding 120 to that. That's about 2,300 cubics. Then Liebenberg's Vlei plus the Wilge Rivier 500, and then that's about 500-600 cubics. Higher up on the Wilge, there's still more water, but not much more. But that will maintain that flow for a longer time. Vaal Dam showing 113% with an outflow of 2,200 cubic. Let's just see what the prediction on the dam is. So there's a prediction of still an increase in the total flow and an increase in the total capacity of the dam up to 115%, with the outflow showing here around 2,200 cubic. So more water on its way down. And then the Bloemhof Dam is where the attention should be now. The Vet, Sandrivier, Valsrivier, which feeds into Bloemhof Dam, as well as the big waters on its way down from the Vaal Dam, all adds up to a very large increase in flow. The Vaal River is already at 3,800 cubic, and then the Vals 130, and the Vet, there's no data, flow data here, and there's a small contribution from that side as well. So looking at Bloemhof Dam, and this is behind. This is going to increase. I just got a message, even though this is from 12 o'clock yesterday. So it's not been updated yet. The warnings that we received is that this outflow of 2,400 has now been moved up to 2,600, 2,800, and by 12 o'clock today, the outflow from Bloemhof will be 3,000 cubic. That's a big change. That's a lot of water coming down the Vaal side. If we look at the Garib side, the orange side, at least that side is now stabilizing. The water coming down from Aliwal Noord has indeed picked up again. Yesterday it was at 1,500, but that's compared to what's happening on the Vaal. This is a smaller change, and you have to add the Caledon to that. So that's 2,200 cubics. So Garib Dam is already at 111% with an outflow of 1,450. That'll probably increase a little bit. Looking at the dam itself, they do show a slight increase, an increase in inflow and then dropping off, and a slight increase in capacity. Same with the outflow. So the predicted outflow there is around 1,400. It's already slightly more than that, so I think it will be a little bit more than what they're predicting here, but not much more. And then going down to Van der Kloof. Van der Kloof is at 110%. No, what is it saying here? Van der Kloof is at 108% with an outflow of 1,400 cubic. I do think there's going to be a slight increase in these figures as well, but again, not much. The prediction is just under 110%. It'll probably go up to 110% with an outflow of 1,500, maybe 1,600. So 1,600, and then let's just look at the lower orange. Katlania is already at 2,600. So this is where the two rivers meet. This is going to get 3,000 from Bloemhof Dam and 1,400. That's 4,400. That is significantly more water than we had in December. So this is going to be a bigger flood than what we had in December. The water is already up to 1,600 cubics at Uppington, so a lot of water on its way down. Right, there's been a question, and a couple of questions actually, about the river systems apart from the Orange Vaal system. And I can show you, if you look up here, this website is Department of Water and Sanitation.gov.za, dws.gov.za, Hydrology Department. And this is where I get a lot of the river information from. Keep in mind, this is sometimes not up to date, so I have other sources that I just use to verify it with. But looking at the other rivers, you can look at the flow lines tab here. The unverified data is current data. The verified data, but that's only for the Vaal River. The verified data shows for all the rivers in the country. But that's a bit more difficult to dig into and to get actual numbers, and it's not up to date. So it's useful to look at the historic events, but it's not useful to look at what's happening at the moment. To understand which rivers are going down on the down to the coast on the KwaZulu-Natal side, you can click on the flow lines here. It'll open up this page. Now this page is all of the rivers of South Africa. The page name says Vaal River flow lines, but it gives you all of the rivers in South Africa. And just to show where things are going, we can just compare it to the weather forecast. The heavy weather forecast is now around the middle of Mozambique going into Zimbabwe. I think it's going to move further north. I'm just going to change it here to a 5-day forecast so that it's easier to compare. So the rivers on the KwaZulu-Natal coast are much shorter rivers. Let me just get it to there. This is Lesotho. Durban is here, and these are the rivers that flow down to the KwaZulu-Natal coast. And these are much shorter rivers because the escarpment is much steeper here. You have the Drakensberg here, Lesotho on the western side of the mountains, Drakensberg Mountains, English, Afrikaans. Anyway, everything on the western side of the Drakensberg here is going to the Orange River, Aliwal North, Orange River. So you have very short rivers running east and very long rivers running west. At least the weather forecast for that area, for the KwaZulu area, has dropped significantly. That's 5 days, and this is 10 days. Even up this 18 millimeters, 25 millimeters. So that is quite a relief. Let's keep our eye on Freddie. He might still change his mind on where he's going. So that's a significant change in what's happening, and that means the flood here is going to be higher than it was in December. And that means that the Doringbaai Road is going to be closed again for we don't know how long. This weekend was supposed to be the weekend when we would do repairs, clear the road and things, but that's out. It's already too deep. This is where I drive through with the Jeep normally. It's already too deep for that. And
In a moment I'll show you where, let me show you what the difference will be just for the drive here. If you look at where we are now, and we usually drive through this, just looking at where the bucky is now. In a week's time from now, there will be no way to reach this point. I will have to, and I'll show you where I'll have to stop, where the water will be. All of this will be underwater. Alright, so in a week from now, 10 days from now, all of this will be underwater. Even this. Even this. Everything that's wet here will be underwater. I will have to stop here, and the water will be right at my feet in 10 days from now. Oh, maybe a bit more than 10 days, but no, 10 days from now. We'll see. We'll do an update and check whether I was correct. Let's go now have a look at the other pump station. And see whether the drone can follow automatically. There's still a lot to learn about the drone, but I'm getting there, bit by bit. The water that's now on the left-hand side of the bank will be higher than the ground level of the date trees, date plantation. The drone lost contact with the bucky there. I'm just bringing it back in line. I'm not going to cut away and edit here. I'm just going to bring it in so you see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Takes a bit of maneuvering just to get it in the right spot. Wrong side. And there I am. Missed myself. Water. Well, all the maneuvering. So usually I edit all of this out because I have to walk and not fall over and maneuver the drone and get it in the correct place, especially between trees like this. So anyways, you can hear the drone probably in the mic now. This is the other pump station, and we'll have to pull these pumps right up to where that tree is up there. Show it there. There, up there. Okay. Anyways, next time I'll edit again and make the video nice and pretty. But that's it for this video. I'll keep you updated. This week is going to be a heavy one, so I'm not so sure how many updates I can do. I'll see, but if there's any big changes, I'll just do a quick update with no editing, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.